literally not me, going on Amazon, finding Lundy Bancroft's book, Why Does He Do That? Ordering 3 copies of said book to pass out to friends. I cannot tell you how many friends I talk to on the daily who are in relationships, who are dealing with sisters-in-law, who are dealing with parents that are exhibiting narcissistic and toxic behavior. And these loved ones of mine don't see what's happening to them. They don't understand that this goes beyond somebody's just bad mood or trauma, that these people are actually pathological. And yes, I am going to be one of the lay people out here on TikTok that a lot of people have problems with, that is going to talk about narcissism, define narcissism, share my experience, and help people to recognize when they are in a narcissistic abuse cycle. And I'm one of many people out here doing this. Do I have a DSM-V in my hands? Do I have a psychology doctor degree from a high-ranked university? No, I don't. I do have a master's degree though, but it is not in psychology. However, I would argue that I don't need that. I would argue that narcissism is actually rampant in our society. The statistics that we read, that it's like, 5% of the population, are incorrect, because those statistics are gathered by people in the psychology field who have either given somebody the label or that person has admitted themselves that they are. Narcissists, especially covert narcissists, are very good at fooling the world and acting charming. If they weren't, they wouldn't have victims. Nobody's going to expose themselves to a brute. They've gotten really good at their mask. So no, I don't think that what we use to gather the statistics are actually accurate. There are so many more narcissists in this world than we even want to admit to ourselves. Because if you look at the very structures of our society, they are narcissistic in nature. I was on a TikTok live last night with another creator who talks a lot about narcissists, and this is exactly what he was saying and that we were discussing. Let's look at some of these structures, shall we? Capitalism. Capitalism is used to feed and garner supply from its participants, and the people at the top benefit. And when the lay people have a problem with the system, or they can't function within the system because it's depleting them, it's literally taking their life force energy and all that they have for the benefit of a small privileged few, guess whose fault that is? It's our fault. And we are told that we're lazy or defunct. There is a homeless epidemic going on right now across the country because people cannot participate in this system anymore. Let's look at religion. I'm sorry for all the religious folks. I'm not trying to offend you, but like God himself in the typical religious context is this father figure that perpetuates or allows horrific things to happen on earth. And when his literal children or his spiritual children have problems with these things, it's because they're sinning and not obeying and not being perfect. It is literally turned back on us when we suffer in this world. We are told to be better. It is the complete and utter blame shift and gaslight of humanity. So it starts from the top. The macro society, the macro structures, it's narcissistic in so many ways. So you don't think that that's going to show up on the micro? Of course it is, which is why we see it so rampant in people and in relationships. We see it in structures, in churches, and in communities. Also, narcissists are perpetuating, they're having more baby narcissists. Nature versus nurture both contribute to just this generational cycle of monstrous people on earth. And if you look at studies, there are literally studies that show that the boomers, that generation, many of them are narcissists because they were raised by parents that had trauma, unresolved trauma from the world wars. So what we need to do at this point is call out narcissism in all of its forms, recognize it, see it when it's happening, on the micro and the macro. That's a very important part of the healing. It's talking about it here on this app. It's reading that book, Lundy Bancroft's Why Does He Do That? There are several books on this topic, and there should be, because I would say that this is the main cancer of society. It is narcissism, and for too long, narcissists and narcissistic structures have been able to run amok, run rampant, unchecked, and that ends now. So we call this out, we say no more, we break up with that dude. We break up with him and we wait until a good person, a healthy person comes along to be in a relationship with, start a family, etc. We leave the system, if we can, that is perpetuating narcissistic abuse on us. And then we heal. And we heal by talking, we heal by connecting as a community, we heal by learning about it and learning that it was never our fault, and then tending to ourselves, loving ourselves, telling ourselves that we're enough, and then moving forward and helping our neighbor heal as well.